And the thing is with this belt is, I'm glad I caught it now. I gotta go look at another Liberty Z to see if I can belt back on correctly. This one's dirty, of course. Oh shit. Oh, excuse me. I don't know who's this one. This is dirty. I don't see the diagram there. Using a diagram on the. Oh no. Yeah. There it is.
That's through sickness and in health, richer for poor, all of that. You know, went down there a couple of times. You know, man, come on, dog.
And
You can do better than that.
Yeah.
Man, you can do better than that, man. It's your girl. Mm-hmm. He don't want to discuss it.
Go like that. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Grant's Lawn Care. This is your host, Simon. Just getting in from doing my Monday route and just about to do a quick blade switch and clean my mower up a little bit, get it prepared for the next day of mowing, which will probably be Thursday. I had my schedule mixed up today with my real job versus mowing. So today, I could have prolonged today, but instead, I'll just stretch out everything up Thursday and Friday before I actually do go back to work where my name is on the schedule. So sit back and enjoy this. I'm about to take you through a quick, about to take you through a quick blade switch. And like I said, clean the lawnmower up, get everything back squared away, and prepared for the next day of mowing, which is, fingers crossed, hopefully Thursday. I don't know what the weather is this week. I've stopped kind of looking at the weather, because you hear it all the time on the radio and stuff, and they're saying, bright, clear skies and cooling down temps. So that's really all I wanted to hear. Luckily, nothing about rain or anything. Seems like it's in the forecast coming up soon. So it sounds like we got perfect weather conditions, as you can see today. Beautiful, beautiful skies. The birds outside enjoying themselves. So hey, I'm gonna stop yapping and get to mowing. Well, not mowing, but get to changing these blades. So enjoy. Have this mic on, so hopefully it's not too loud in your ears. So today, learning, trying out new content. That's been using my idea that I posted on the video a while ago about putting a ramp on your vehicle just in case you hit something in the yard and you can do a blade off in the field. I have two of those exact same wraps. One is on the back of my truck, one I keep here at the house. So once I get home or whatever I need to do, or like I said, out in the field, prop up on my trailer, as you see it right there. And you know, easy access to the front of your deck so you can see what's going on. Earlier, yesterday, for those of you who saw me on my Instagram, I ended up hitting a old piece of rug at a property that I was mowing, and it ended up cutting my deck off and stopped the blades from spinning. And after that, I'm guessing in the mix of all of that happening, my deck belt ended up like flipping, I guess twisting up on the pulleys. And this morning when I went out to start servicing properties, it started happening yesterday. I'll put it to like that. Let's go back to Sunday. It started happening yesterday. Started smelling my belt burning, but it wasn't, you know, a great big odor of smoke. So I got the belt back on yesterday, and this morning I went out on my first property, my weekly property. Once I started on it, I started smelling the smoke. And once I got that weekly property finished, I ended up investigating a little more. My belt, it was framed. Matter of fact, I had it here in the back of my truck. My belt that I got in the beginning of the season was framed. So I was like, what in the world? I ended up going to the guy and ended up servicing my mower for me in the beginning of the season. And I know I'm off camera, but you know, I went to him and told him, hey, what was going on? And this is a brand new belt. You know, you can see the fraying. Hopefully the camera's doing justice, but fraying all the way around. You know, some spots are worse than others, but fraying all the way around. What ended up happening when my belt jumped off the pulley, and I'm going to take the blame for it. I mean, I might as well. I'm assuming that it twisted. And when I checked it this morning, it was twisted. So it was on some pulleys like that. Some pulleys in the front was fooling me. I was thinking it was all the way actually still on the pulley system the right way. When in reality, when I looked at the main pulley under the motor, it was twisted. So therefore, that friction and the speed of that motor trying to still do its job, I mean, I got the first yard cut, but at the expense of, you know, luckily just the belt, you know, I ended up getting the first yard done, but I ended up, you know, getting the first one done, went to the shop, told me what was wrong, suggested me go get another belt. I got a brand new belt, put it back on, and I went and did another property. Didn't smell any burning, didn't have any bog downs. I mean, even when it was on wrong, that motor was still trying to actually do what it was supposed to do, which was cut the grass. So, got a new belt on it, another belt on it, and that one, like I said, was at the expense of me. I guess I can take 100% accountability by I put the belt on so fast yesterday after the fact that I didn't really, I guess, fully inspect how it should have been on there, and I just was like, man, I need to have this belt back on there by Monday. Monday's here, and luckily it didn't end in a big shutdown with it either damaging a spindle or damaging something worse up under the bottom there. So, long story short, take your time when you're out here doing in the field repairs, and make sure you're doing, you know, the right thing in a timely manner, if that makes any sense. Because me just being aggravated and in a hurry, you know, that frayed my belt, and it could have been worse than that, but luckily it didn't. So that's just a little tip from me. You know, yeah, when you get frustrated and you have something that's going left field compared to what you want to happen, especially when mowing, hey, sometimes you got to slow down a little bit, pump the brakes, hit the reset button, and then get back out here and get to it. So I was able to get everything completed today, so now, again, servicing up for the next time I mow. I don't know exactly how much more I can actually brag on this Hercules battery-powered impact wrench from Harbor Freight. I don't know how much more that I can brag on it, but this thing right here is the truth. I went from a cord to a battery powered, and instead of having to battle that cord every single time I change my blades, just make sure I get a good battery and come under here and do what I got to do. You know, all in all, I am so pleased with this tool. I've changed tires with it. I've been changing my blades with it for as long as I've had it now. And this made that process a whole lot faster and efficient so that I don't have to drag extension cords all over the yard as I had to in the past just to change my blades. I mean, this right here is, you know, cold water on a hot day. Clean my deck off a little bit. It's pretty wet this morning, pretty good dew. And got a little bit of dirt up under my deck. So, as Big Son says, make sure you clean the decks. Clean the decks. I don't get no scraper or nothing. Excuse me. I just go ahead and use a blade. It's already under here. Just go ahead, utilize it. It ain't gonna be 100% perfect, but you know, just getting some of that old residue off of everything. It's going, as soon as I get on my first yard Thursday, it's gonna look like I never did any of this. So, how are you guys Monday going? Hopefully pretty good. Because mine, like I said, started off not the way I wanted it to, but I was able, thank goodness, to mitigate everything right then and there. So I know no one likes a breakdown or of any caliber, whether it's a small or big. Even though we all prefer small breakdowns over big breakdowns, I know I do. Something you can get in and out of the shop with quickly. Breakdowns are just a part of the game. You know, if we didn't break down, then we ain't really working too hard with the equipment that is not being pushed. So I can't stand them breaking down. I love them to be reliable every day that I get out here and turn the key. But sometimes we know that just don't happen. So blades are changed. Let's check a few more things and we go put her up for the next couple of days until I get back out here Thursday. So when I first got my mower back a couple weeks ago, right before the season fully kicked off, you know, I tried my best not to, in the past, put a lot of water on here, but you know, this mower doesn't have a whole lot of grease fittings and a lot of things that are on this mower. And please don't eat me up in the comments about this because I'm not no 100% lawnmower small engines person. So I'm just, you know, speaking it in my own terms. But this mower doesn't have as many grease fittings as a commercial mower. You know, I have 4 grease fittings on here, and all 4 of those are on the deck lifting system. So everything else, like my spindles, for example, they have like the grease, I guess, eternally already in them. And the person that serviced my mower for me was asking me, you know, how do I clean my mower after I'm done with it? And I told him sometimes I'll wash it, depends on how nasty it gets, or I'll just take my blower and blow it off, which you see here in the video. So I'm saying all that to say, be mindful when you go to these car washes or even at home with these pressure washers and you're hard down washing off your mowers and everything. Just be mindful of those grease fittings, or be mindful that if you don't have visible grease fittings, that your parts may have internal grease, and the water, you may not see it, it's going to get down in there and it's going to degrade what's already in there that's, you know, in place to help protect your spindle bearings and your grease fittings that are visible. You know, all that water eventually and that pressure is going to wash it away. So just make sure you're careful with that. And if you do wash the grease away and you got grease fittings, just go ahead and, you know, put more grease back in them so you'll be good to go. So what I'm going to do here now, and I'm going to disconnect the microphone, is blow it off and, you know, clean it up, and then I'm going to put my grease fittings, you know, get those back serviced, and that should be it. So I'm going to cut this mic off and do that, so stay tuned. So that whole time, and hopefully it is now, that whole time I was talking, the mic was not on. I still had to grease fit and off the camera, by the way. Last thing I was saying was like and I plan on fueling up Thursday morning when I get off from work. Just gonna fuel up everything, top it off, and be set for the rest of the week. So I'm gonna blow this off. I'm gonna leave the mic on this time. I just have to edit it when this video comes out. I have to edit it with the video app, but that's what I'm gonna do really quick. And then I'm gonna grease those 4 grease fittings, put these gloves on, because everybody knows how that grease is just a mess if you get it on yourself. So here comes Casey. For those of you who have not met Casey, she's gonna disappear as soon as this blower cranks up. So watch and learn. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. And my mower is not the cleanest. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I used to clean my mower frequently when I first got it. I done got to the point now to where I ain't even that big on all of that. I mean, this mower's gonna get, as soon as I go from washing it up one day and go to my next first property, it's gonna be a disaster. I got a lot of sand in a lot of my properties. I got a lot of mud around a lot of my properties, and you know, I just don't really feel the urge to clean this mower up every time I go out here and, you know, service properties. That's just not something I'm interested in doing much of. I mean, like I said, it goes back also to the grease fittings. And why is this grease gun not doing what it's supposed to do? If you want something to act up, put it on camera. I guarantee you, if you put it on camera, it will make a person think you don't know what you're doing. And I just was getting grease out of this gun a couple of days ago. There it is. So, grease that one up until you start seeing the grease come out of the end. I got one way back here. And that's another thing about these grease fittings. A lot of them are not in great spots at all. And like I said, these 4, the 2 in the front, you know, not really a hassle to get to. Those 2 in the back, man, yeah, definitely, you know, a little spot that I do not care for. Doesn't take very many pumps, like 3 or 4, and it's good to go. So, it's greased, blades are changed. Like I said, I'm gonna go to the gas station and fill it in my cans up Thursday, and we'll be ready to rock and roll for the rest of the week. So, thank y'all for tuning in on this little quick video, changing the blades, greasing up, cleaning my deck off, and that's pretty much it. As far as the hours go, just for hijinks, I've just crossed 506 hours even, 506.0 even on the mower. My hydro oil is still looking good. All of that stuff was serviced in the beginning of the season before I started using the mower. The oil, I've been putting more oil in it, seems like, all of a sudden, but I'll keep an eye on that. And other than that, it's ready to go. Dirty, but like I just said, I'm not gonna be washing this thing like I first got it. I mean, it's a workhorse, and as long as I keep the main things, in my opinion, again, don't eat me up in the comments for this, as long as I keep the main things in mind, keeping it greased, keeping oil in it, get the right gas in it, you know, not putting the wrong gas in it, you know, making sure my tires and everything are aired up as even in PSI as I possibly can. This mower will continue to last me a little bit longer, and I don't have any plans of getting rid of it. Again, if you've been following me for as long as I do have plans or hopes to get another mower. Skag is my 99.9% choice. Toro is my 1% choice. If I was to switch brands, it would be a Toro, the 4000 series. I don't know. I like what I've seen about those mowers on reviews and videos. I just like the way they actually, you know, seem to perform. But Skag has been my #1 mower since I've actually, you know, purchased a zero-turn mower, and you know, I'm real pleased with it. So thank y'all for checking this video out. I'm about to log on up out of here. Catch y'all on another video. Please, please, please be safe out here, and you know, get to work. So y'all be easy. Peace.